Now we are recording. Welcome everybody. Thank you for making it this morning to our sales meeting. We got a lot going on this week. As a lot of you know, I'm taking some vacation starting next week. And if you thought I was going to mail it in, nope, I'm not mailing it in. We got a lot of good stuff. I did mail it in on the shaving, so I apologize. I thought I'd get a week head start on vacation and growing the beard back. Yeah, I couldn't go with the soft face for too long. So at any rate, that is why I look pretty scruffy today. I do apologize. That all said, let's talk about some of the things that we've got going on. First of all, for those of you in the West Seattle office that participated in the project for Don Brider and the photos with the signs, we've got that all done. Maria did an amazing job. It looks phenomenal. We got it printed, framed. We've got this whole thing, and we've got a care package. We've got a thumb drive with a short video from Robert Preble that is hilarious. We've got some cards and some letters and all those things, and my goal is hopefully to be able to deliver that later today. But I will email out that graphic so you can see the final product on that. But it turned out really, really great. So thank you so much for those of you that participated in that. Appreciate it. For those of you, not many, that have been asking, hey, what's up with convention and the bulk packages and things of that nature? The company as on a whole didn't get enough interest in saying, yeah, we want to commit right now today or in the next month to get the discount to go to convention next year. So I think everybody's kind of in the same boat. We did not end up as a company purchasing bulk rate package. So it's kind of a, hey, when we get a little closer, we'll see where we're at. So I'm hoping still to be able to go to convention next year, but of course we'll see when we get there, right? So that is the latest on convention for those of you that have been asking about that. The elevator, hey, good news. The new elevator in the West Seattle office, Maria, actually, our new OA was, I think, the first person that hasn't been working on it or connected to it to get to ride it. She did go up and down yesterday successfully, so boom, 2 thumbs up. We're getting super close. The inspection on that is tomorrow, and if all goes well, I think we'll be using it by Thursday, I think, and then they will start tearing out the other one. So anyway, getting some good progress on that. We're close. We're close. Did you check out the video that Jason Waugh sent on Sunday night? You might not have seen it until Monday morning, but really some great information on there. I'm going to direct you to that for the information. Check out, put in your search bar Jason Waugh, and you'll find an email that just came from him on Sunday evening that talks a lot about the month of July and just what a rebound we've got going and how great you're doing as agents. I will say that agents across the company, our profit for the agents is up 11% year over year for July. That's huge numbers. You guys are doing amazing, and it just speaks to what you're doing and what the market is doing. So pretty cool there. A lot of good information in that video from Jason. Go check that out if you have not already. Last week at the sales meeting, we did a vote. We had you vote in the comments as to whether or not you wanted to bring back doing new and price reduced at the end of the meetings, and it was a resounding yes. There's a couple of no votes, and may know why that is, but for the most part, yes. So starting today at the end of the meeting, we'll stay on here. I'll stop the recording, and we'll let anybody who wants to share new and price reduced, if you want to stay and hear those people and those new and price reduced listings, that would be great. We'd appreciate it. But we'll go ahead and take that off of the record. Cool. One thing that I've noticed a couple of times here recently, and I just want to throw out some ideas on pricing. Let's talk about pricing real quick. I've seen a couple of homes listed, not necessarily by our agents, but I've seen them out there. And I know you've seen these before too. I've seen homes that have been priced at $495 or $795, right? I really just want to suggest that if it's your listing, that you maybe not do that. $495 and $500 are the same, except it's $5,000 less for your seller. Obviously, easy math to do. But I think that it's reasonable to expect that somebody who would pay $495 for a house would pay $499, $950 for the same house. And so a lot of times, especially in a hot market, you may be leaving what seems like maybe a smaller amount of money on the table, but it's still money on the table for your client. It still could be, the difference of $5,000. I've seen homes priced at, $699 instead of $699, $950. I get the idea of being at $699, $950, right? Because you want to be under that 700 in that marketing number. And a lot of us say, hey, it doesn't matter if it's 700,000 or 699, 950. I know it's 700. The reality is there's a reason why big companies and small companies alike use that marketing technique. But my recommendation would be to don't fall short of getting your client the most money, right? So if you price it at $499, you're leaving $950 on the table, most likely. So be careful of that. Also, a suggestion and something that if you have thoughts or different opinions, that's great. I'd love to hear them, and you can share those with me. You give me a call or text. I'd love to talk to you about pricing, but it is, in my opinion, not always a good technique to price a house just over a large round number. So I've been seeing a lot of 609, 950, right? 610. And I believe from a marketing perspective and having a marketing background that if somebody is going to go above that round number, that 600,000, right? The difference between 605, 610, 615 to 620 actually is probably just about the same. It really is. If you were going to price at 605 or 610, you probably would get more activity and you may get even more money ultimately if you actually priced it down at the 599, 950. But if you are really trying to push and go, hey, no, it's worth more than 600, then I would recommend really strongly thinking about it, instead of going 605, 610, 615, going straight to 620, because I think that the difference, I think it's the same. Ultimately to a consumer. So at any rate, if you have thoughts about that, if you're thinking about pricing a home between a round number and 20,000, so between 600 and 620, and you're not sure where to be or why, I'd love to chat with you about that and talk more. But please, let's make sure that when we're pricing, we're not leaving money on the table for our clients, especially when we're listing at $495 or $499. I feel like that's a very easy money left on the table there for our clients. So again, if you have a different opinion, love to hear it, but we can talk about that offline. Also, something that I just was hearing about today, and it's just such a great reminder. A lot of you have heard me say several times that if we're not having conversations with our SOI, even your own mother will forget to refer you and use you if you are not having conversations with her about real estate, reminding her that you're in the business and you're looking for business and you're available to help people that she knows. The reason that I'm bringing this up is a good example just popped up this morning that I heard. One of our agents was talking with their sister about a property or about a real estate, and the sister went, "Oh, I'm actually thinking about selling." Oh my gosh, right? Probably would have gotten there, but there's no guarantees, right? It is so important to be not constantly, but intentionally having conversations, even with the people closest to you that of course they'll use you, of course they'll use you, of course they'll use you, right? You've got to go through the process of having those conversations, staying top of mind in that space, so important. So just a reminder there. All right, so yesterday something happened to me that really got me charged up, and I'm super excited about this because it was something that, during the pandemic, things kind of got really busy, right? And so you had some momentum before, and then the pandemic hit, and then you're like, oh my gosh, I'm doing this and this and this and this. And something happened while I was in Nashville with Susie Register that was just fantastic. And Susie called me yesterday and said, Tay, you got to remember to share what you shared with me in Nashville. It came up because we were talking about our family of services, right? Our title and escrow, our insurance, and our lender department, right? Prosperity, and Kara and Mark. And she was asking me in Nashville about, hey, what's the value? Why should I use our family of services versus something else? What does it matter, really? And so we got an opportunity to have a really good conversation. And she had told me, Tay, I don't think that necessarily everybody understands why? Like, what's the value to me as the agent? Why does this really good for us as a company and as independent agents? And I thought, you know what? In fact, Susie said, you got to put this out there. And you're right, Susie. And I really appreciate you mentioning it. And so I do want to just real quick go through just why, how this works. And so, because a lot of us think, okay, yeah, sure, I get it, Ted. Clearly, if the company makes more money, then it's good for the company and whatever. But it's not just about that. It's not just about the company. But let's talk just really, really briefly about how this sets up. Okay. When I started 19 years ago and I signed on with Al Lynch in the West Seattle office, my company dollar was $24,750. Last week, I signed somebody on, their company dollar was $24,750. Okay. Same thing, 20 years later, 2 decades. But what's happened to costs in the last 2 decades? Clearly, costs have gone up, right? Your real estate business, just like the company's real estate business, is just that. It's a business, right? It has to be profitable. It has to make sense. It has to be able to grow. And so we know if the incoming money, of course, is similar, and the cost is going up, how do you make something that is sustainable and strong? And the real estate industry has caught on to this a long time ago. That's why we see all kinds of different weird companies coming in and out of the marketplace and trying different things to try to figure out how to do this. But really, the strong way to do it, and the way to be that forever brand, like our company talks about and explains, is to have a full set of home services. It's right in our name, right? Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Real Estate. And having those home services allow us to position ourselves in a good place to be strong, not today, not tomorrow, not next year, but long term, right? Over the course of what we want to do. You want to be at a brand that you can stay at. I haven't gone anywhere in 20 years. No reason to go anywhere. Been in an amazing position, great brand all the way through. And I intend to stay right there. There's no reason to move. But if the company isn't thinking forward, and if the company isn't growing and creating that strong foundation, then we have problems, right? We find ourselves in a position where is maybe similar to some of the other competitors out there, maybe some green companies or some red companies that struggle because ultimately, or will continue to be struggling in different spaces and as we go through different markets, right? I don't know, a pandemic hits, what happens? What's the infrastructure look like? What's the foundation look like, right? So if we are utilizing our services and our services are strong, it just helps strengthen our entire company and allows us to do things that we couldn't otherwise do. If you'll remember, over the past many years now, a few years, at least we've brought on things like free warranties for your listings. We brought on things like AdWorks marketing at no cost. We brought on all kinds of things. We're marketing you as agents. I've had so many agents call me and say, hey, I got this lead online. Is this legit? Or somebody said, hey, they saw my ad online. I didn't put an ad online. And that's the company marketing you personally, specifically. It allows us to do more things for you and more things to grow the company. And I love, Susie's got a passion to grow and to be the best. We talk all the time about, hey, Tay, we got to recruit more. We got to bring in, more top agents. Let's go. And I love that about Susie. And so I just appreciate her bringing up that, yeah, hey, let's talk about what is the value of these services. Why should we be utilizing them? Now, I'm not asking you to use a service that I don't use myself, and I sure as heck am not going to use a service for my clients and my family that I don't believe in, right? I use Equity, I use Prosperity, and I use Bill for insurance, and there's a reason for that. They do a great job. Are they human? Is there human error at times? Sure, of course, absolutely. But if you're going to use a service, there's always going to be human error along the way. If we're going to be utilizing something, we might as well be investing in ourselves, right? And helping ourselves grow. I'm not saying that you abandon long-term relationships, but I am saying this. We have had tons of agents that I know have long-term relationships with other companies that have been utilizing and trying Equity and utilizing and trying Kara and Mark and using those services and finding, hey, these are really good resources and it works very, very well. And it's a way to reinvest in yourself by reinvesting in the company. So it is of huge value. If I didn't use them, if I didn't think that they were phenomenal or great companies, great services, I would not be promoting them like this. And I'm not promoting this for any reason other than Susie reminded me, hey, let's talk about why. What's the value to the agents? If you have a few listings and you have other companies that you're using for title and escrow, great. But if you've got a few listings, try them out, give them a deal, see what happens, go from there. The cool thing is that they're really receptive to positive feedback, to negative feedback. If there's things you'd like to see changed, they're because they're part of us, and they are at a size that we can, I mean, you can get straight to Nicole Giamatti, the top of the food chain here in the region, and get answers and get things done. And it's a neat opportunity. So again, thank you, Susie. Thank you for listening. I appreciate it. And definitely, again, we've got a lot of experienced agents who are making that change. And if you want to talk to some of them, let me know. We can connect you with some of those agents that are doing that. So awesome. Let's talk about some stats. What are stats doing? The same thing they've been doing for a while. If I just real quick read this out, it basically just tells you everything you need to know. Listings up again, 6 out of the last 7 weeks. Active listings. Pending stats up 10 straight weeks and 35% over last year. Sold stats continue to rise, maintaining closed numbers just under last year's numbers, but sold numbers week over week over week continue to rise. Median home prices, oh my gosh, guys and gals, they keep on going up. We are at 495, virtually 495 now across the MLS, 70K over last year, and that's 16.5% over where we were last year for median house prices. And showing activity is maintaining the record-setting high numbers of showings. So listings up, pendings up, solds up, median home prices up, showing activity up. We're in a great market. There are things that you got to pay attention to. There are things we got to be safe with, and we need to respect each other in this time with COVID. But I mean, the market is speaking for itself. If you're not getting some and you want to talk to me, I'd love to chat with you about what you're doing and some lead generation activities and some ways that you can do the business in a safe and reasonable manner, but while also taking a full opportunity to do real estate right now. All right, let's talk about the calendar. We got some things coming up. As I mentioned at the beginning, I have got vacation coming up. I have not taken more than 1 day off in almost a year. And so I am going to be taking 10 days off. So from Saturday, well, 10 work days. From the 15th, which is this Saturday, I'll be taking off from the 15th, and I will be back in the office on the 26th. So for 10 days, my phone and my email is going to be off. You've got Nalani, you've got Russ, you've got your OAs, you've got all kinds of resources. If there's an emergency, the staff absolutely will be able to get a hold of me. So if you get a hold of them with an emergency and it needs to come to me, totally, of course, I'm going to be there. I'm going to help. But for the betterment of my family, my lovely wife and myself, I'm going to try to unplug for just a little bit, recharge, and be able to come back strong to start off the fall in September. So that's coming up. Walk and Wag. I talked about this last week. Sunshine Kids has not had necessarily the events and things to raise money that they have in the past. And again, I know I mentioned this last week, but they put out first annual Walk and Wag is what it's called, Wednesday the 19th. $30 gets you a t-shirt, a bandana. You go walk your dog on that day. It's a virtual thing, right? But it's just a way to support Sunshine Kids. A few of you have emailed me. I signed up for it right away. A few of you have emailed that you are also in. If you need more information on that, great, let me know. But I mean, come on, $30, help the kids. It's really a great opportunity and option. And again, they can use that. So that would be great. Let's talk about upcoming meetings next Tuesday while I am on vacation. Nalani and Russ will be running that meeting. So make sure to be here, same time, same station. I'll send an invite out later today or tomorrow for that meeting as well. But Russ and Nalani will be heading that up. And then August 25th, the sales meeting is canceled. We're going to give 1 week off there, and then we'll start strong again the beginning of September, the first week of September. With that, my voice is going. I need some water. Let's hand it over to Kara. Kara Nunley, you there?
Yes, thank you, Tay. Appreciate it.
Awesome.
A couple quick updates for the team here from Prosperity. So we are back to having no FICO score loans. So if you have a client that doesn't have a FICO score, we're able to get those loans done through exceptions. So just run that through Mark and myself, and we can kind of go over those details with you. Conventional loans are back down to 620 credit score, along with Washington State bond loans. Those are down to 620 credit score, meeting certain criteria. FHA is still at 640, so just kind of know those parameters there. Another quick update is for the Burien office, I'm doing my mortgage hour tomorrow. So you will see another email. You should have got one yesterday, and you'll see another email from Rachel tomorrow morning for that as well. So that's it for us. If you guys have questions, please feel free to reach out to Mark and myself. We're here to answer any questions you guys have.
Nice. And I know that for the West Seattle office that Mark is going to be starting up something similar starting in the fall. So look for that. Awesome. Kara, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. I know we have got Kelly Quigley is on here and Janet. Is that right? Kelly, you there?
I believe Janet's on there. Oh, there she is.
Oh,
I'm here. Yes, thank you. I'm
hi,
speaking
Janet.
Today. Hello.
Absolutely. Hey, Janet, let me, I know that you've got something you want to show, so let me put you up on a shared screen here so that people can see this graphic.
Perfect. Thank you.
Absolutely.
So
Let me see if I can do that.
while you're doing that, I just wanted to thanks for the shout out, Tay. I appreciate that. We are always working to be better and pivoting and changing. So I appreciate your shout out. But I also wanted to thank everybody who attended our first clock hour class. We were super excited. Thank you for sticking through that. And certificates will be out no later than the 17th. So how are you doing there, Tay?
You're muted, Tay.
I went to try to show it and it kicked me off, and I jumped back in, and it looks like Sherry Sierra got knocked off too. I just brought her back in, but the photo, it's not letting me share that graphic for whatever reason. I can share anything else that's on my desktop, but I cannot share this graphic, ladies. I'm so sorry. I tried this. I set it up. I made sure I could share my screen, and I see all the icons, but I cannot share the one that you sent me. That kicked me off.
That's okay.
I apologize, but can you explain to us what this is? You've got something really cool to share.
Yeah. So as you all know, seller and buyer information letters are very important. They kind of start the transaction, especially the seller information letters. They start the transaction. So we're sending them out in a different platform now. And that's what you were going to share, what it looks like. It's in a DocuSign platform that is very intuitive. Before, we used to send it out in a letter form that it was just, they filled it out, whether it was necessary information or not. Now, it's very intuitive. And what do I mean by that? So if you check a box that says you're married, it asks for spousal information. If you're single, it doesn't ask for that information. So it's easier for your clients to fill out. If there's trust information, it asks you to upload that information. If it's no trust, it doesn't ask for that extra information. So it makes the process smoother for your clients. And it also is mobile enabled. It has our wire instructions right there for them. And it translates into 100 different languages at a click of a button. So it is pretty cool. We're excited about it. We hear that those seller information should come back in 72 hours. So that just makes your files just process faster. So we are excited about this. We're always really trying to keep our escrow closers front facing, meaning answering the phones for not only you, but your clients. And we hope that this even does that more. So keeping what can be automated, but keeping our closers front facing for you guys. So yeah, we're really excited. So if you get questions about that, Kelly or I are happy to answer, and you can call your escrow closer as well.
Nice. Janet, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
Bill, hey, I see you there.
Yeah. Hey.
Anything interesting from the world of insurance?
Oh, there's always something going on. But you know what? I was thinking about, I was on the Bellevue call this morning, and they were talking about condos. And just as a point of reference, the last couple of weeks, I've quoted about 4 to 5 condos, people buying condos. And it is absolutely stunning how much coverage you can get for so little amount with a condo. I have a couple of carriers, Safeco and Travelers. I've mentioned these before, but they come in and their condo rates are in some cases less than $1 a day for full-blown comprehensive coverage. There's no gaps, there's no surprises, water leaks, loss assessments, water septic backup, all those things are covered. It's just amazing. So if you're working with a buyer, give me a shot. I'd love to help them out. Or if you've got people in your sphere that have condos and just want a quick review, I mean, it takes me probably, if I'm not multitasking, I can run a condo quote in probably 5 to 10 minutes and just give them a kind of a what if and show them what it looks like, because it's just amazing how reasonable they really are. So that's all I got for you.
Nice. Bill, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Yep.
That's great. That's great. All right, let's talk about one more topic here this morning, and that is, I thought it might be relevant for us to just take a look at and be starting to prepare mentally, maybe structurally, for the upcoming school year. And so I've got some stuff here that I want to share with you. Whether you've got school-age kids at home or not, there's some great stuff in here. But for those of you that are going to be going, okay, gosh, kids are going to be doing remote learning again. I can't just let them go play and do their thing. They've got to actually do some work, and I've got to supervise that. And I've got maybe a significant other in the house that's also working from home, or maybe not. But how do we go through this kind of next phase, right? What are some ways to make sure that we are structured in a way that will allow us to not only fulfill the obligations that we have within our household, but also continue to focus and not lose track or sight of our real estate business and doing those essential things that we're going to need to do to continue to maintain a good, healthy real estate business as we go through this next year and work through whatever COVID kind of has for us. And so I was doing some research on this because I felt like, hey, this is something, let's get some help on this a little bit. Let's get some ideas. And I found this really great article and a suggestion, 7 suggestions for things to do to structure working at home while also facilitating and having kids or other significant others at home during this time to make sure that you're taking care of everybody's needs. And so I just want to share this with you because I think it's really relevant. Seven items here. One, it talks about getting creative with your schedule. So maybe you're working before people get up. Maybe you're working after people go to bed. Maybe you're working while kids are doing their work or whatever it is. But getting creative with your schedule, right, is important. Notice that there is a schedule in that whole getting creative with your schedule, right? So creating a schedule is going to be important. Let staff know, let us know if you have huge chunks of the day where you're like, hey, I have to focus on this or this or this. And these are going to be times that are going to be not great for us. Let us know, let us help you kind of figure that out, and let us make sure that we're getting you the information that you need and facilitating if you've got those kinds of needs. Stick to a routine, it says, is the third item. Yeah, of course, we all know everybody needs a routine, adults, kids, everybody, right? But sticking to a routine helps with anxiety, right? If you know what's coming next, then the anxiety level is down. And especially if you're working with kids at home that are going to be going to school or doing their schoolwork and such, if they know what to expect, it's going to be a lot easier on them, which makes it in turn a lot easier on you. I love this one. It talks about visual cues to kind of minimize the interruptions, right? So set those times, make that schedule, but maybe have things like, hey, if I am in this specific room of the house, or if I'm at this specific table or desk, or if I have the whiteboard that says, working, that means let's not interrupt me unless it's an absolute emergency, right? So set some boundaries of, hey, I've got specific times that I've got to just focus on the work. I've got to just focus on my lead gen. I've got to focus on my current clients, whether we're working in the business or on the business. If I'm in this space or I have this designation, I'm off limits at that time, right? And if you've got a significant other in the house, maybe that is, making arrangements with them where sometimes they have it, sometimes you have it, or however that works, right, for you. I love this one also for kids. If you've got kids in the house and they're doing, their school from home, it talks about letting kids make choices. And I think this is so powerful, right? Setting up options for them that they know that they have throughout the day, right? So maybe you've got a snack drawer in the house or a snack shelf in the refrigerator with healthy food, right? So they don't have to necessarily ask, can I have a snack? They just know they can, anything they want from that shelf, whatever, it's fine, it's healthy, it's good, they can help themselves, right? Things like stations already set, reading stations or homework stations, drawing stations, outdoor activity stations, or already having things prepared and ready so that they can kind of self-play and do things as you're trying to work through. Now, of course, as we know, a lot of us that have kids know that the kids need a lot of supervision. So you're setting time to give the supervision and the help with the school, but also setting those times where it's like, hey, it's work time and I've got to get my things done, whatever those are. Right. The other thing that they mentioned is a timer, right, for screen time so that your kids can self-regulate their screen time, right? Maybe you say you get 30 minutes in the morning and you get 10 minutes in the afternoon, or I don't know, however you do at your house. But to set that timer. So again, they don't have to ask, can I, can't I? They just know I got this much time and I've used it, I'm done, I'm on to the next station, right? So again, just ideas to help set those things up. Communicating with your clients. Now, this is one that some of you may want to do, some of you may not want to do, but at the end of the day, it could be very helpful for your clients to know, hey, I can expect to be able to get a hold of my agent between these hours, but I know that he or she is at home working with their kids on their schooling between these hours and is offline and not available. So again, just keeping good communication in a way that's going to be healthy and good for you and your business. And the last one, and I really like this one as well a lot, and it talks about planning breaks with the kids and downtime without them. So planning time to work with your school age kids to teach and play and all those things, and then time blocking those into your schedule so they're consistent and absolute, so that your kids know when they're going to get FaceTime and they're going to get attention, and so they know when that's coming if they're not getting it at that moment because you've got to do lead gen or whatever you've got to do, right? So they have that expectation and they know, hey, this is coming, so I'm okay now because I know that I'm going to get the adult attention or the adult situation or the help or whatever I need at this time, right? So setting up those expectations and putting them in a schedule for breaks and things that you're going to be doing with the kids, and also then time for yourself and making sure that you've got that time set aside for yourself. Set yourself a schedule, do yourself a favor as we're getting closer to September and these things, and kids needing to focus on their school. I think this is just a great opportunity and a reminder that we want to preset these things up. We don't want to get into those first few weeks and not have a plan and start setting some I don't know, maybe even bad habits. So be careful with that. If you want help setting a schedule, if you've got ideas, or you're like, hey, how much time should I do in lead gen and what should I be doing in lead gen? I'm happy to help with that anytime. Would love to chat with you. So if you'd like to talk about scheduling and how to set these things up for yourself, I'd love to help with that. Let's get on to the Buffy and the Warren this week. For the Warren, I actually, for the first time since the lockdown, I told the person who is getting the Warren that he'd better be on the call because he's getting the Warren this week. And I think I saw Carl Trotter jump. Yep, there's Carl. I see on the list, Carl. Carl Trotter is getting the Warren this week. And frankly, I mean, he could have deserved it weeks ago. Carl is, and I'm not saying that you've got to come into the office every day and spend a bunch of time, but he's got his own private office. He can come in, close the door, work safely. But my goodness, is just putting in a ton of effort and a ton of time, brings a lot of fun and enjoyment to the staff. We love having more people in the office. That's nice for the folks that feel confident and comfortable doing that. And it just has been really, really obvious. Carl's working really hard on his business and in his business. So congratulations, Carl. You, sir, get the Warren this week. And the Buffy is going to go to Sally Law in Burien. Now, for those of you that know Sally, you know that Sally's been in the business for a long time. She was in our office and with our company for a long time. And then she moved to Texas to be closer to her grandkids for a couple of years. Moved back here just recently and started back up in real estate. And I'm giving the Buffy to Sally because every time I turn around, I hear Sally is working on this. Sally's getting this set up. Sally's, doing this with her SOI. Sally's already done, I don't know, a good amount of business and has a lot more coming. If there is somebody to watch and to kind of follow after, it is Sally and the work ethic that she has. And I appreciate that so much. If you are wondering, hey, what does Sally do so well? Again, reach out. You and I can chat. I'm sure Sally would love to chat with you as well. I know I kind of put you on the spot there, Sally. But if you do like Sally, if you work like Sally, if you put in the intentional time, oh my goodness, your business can thrive just like hers. And so anyway, congratulations, Sally. Thank you so much. Great to have you back and setting just a great example of what doing real estate really looks like for a lot of us. So at any rate, thank you so much for that. And with that, what we will do is we'll turn off the recording and we'll do new and price reduce. So bear with us. First time we're going to try this, right? So I don't know how it's going to go exactly, but let's give it a try. Let's stop the recording now.